It is the FasMart SuperTruck Shootout, part of the NASCAR Craftsman SuperTruck Series. It's yours live tonight on ESPN2 at Richmond International Raceway. 38 trucks, largest field of the year lined up, and the 34 drivers who qualified on time are bracketed by just 0.8 of a second. It's the most competitive field of the year. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain. We're live on the grid. Look who's who at the zoo tonight. We got Darrell Waltrip in the show. He's won 6 times here at this racetrack, and he's one of 6 Winston Cup regulars in the field. That's a record. Come with me. It's crowded down here. See the black truck, black 3. Mike Skinner, series point leader, but only by a little bit. And right in front of him, the Busch Grand National point leader. That's Johnny Benson Jr. and his Busch Grand National rival. There's Johnny right there. His Busch Grand National rival, Chad Little, is in the show tonight. He's one of 7 guys making his first start in the series. That is also a record. Ron Hornaday Jr. won the last race, Flemington, New Jersey, that way, sliding sideways across the finish line. And right up here at the front of the field, Terry Labonte starts on the pole. Remember the last Winston Cup short track race? Labonte won that one, grinding the nose off on the concrete up at Bristol. And he's also won the last 2 races on this racetrack. So there you have it, a star-studded field. Let's talk about points. 127 of them bracketing the top 4 in the standings. And the man who's going to patrol pit road tonight is there to talk to him. Let's go to Marty Reed.
46 points, David. That's what separates first from second place. Mike Skinner's the leader. Joe Ruttman is in second place. He's got the advantage tonight, though. He's starting on the outside of row number 1, and underneath that helmet, I think there's a bit of a smile.
Well, there's a big smile, and I can't wait to, Mom, I'm going to call you, 1-800-COLLECT, and we're going to save a lot of money doing this, so hang it. Do accept the call when I do, and if everyone else would call, it'd help us out as well. But, no, we're really excited. They qualified extremely well, and we're just hoping that we can continue this pace through the first 75.
Obviously, Joe's going to be trying to go down and stay out front, maybe a little bit behind Labonte, maybe a little bit ahead of him. Let's move back to row number 4. 7th starting position. That's where we're going to find Mike Skinner. The problem is Mike has qualified on the pole 9 times this year. He's won 6 of the races. This is the farthest he's been back in quite a while. And as we stick our head in, Mike, let me butt in here if I can for a second. I know you're talking to the crew, but you got a rough, tough task ahead of you. You've got to fight your way up, and and Joe Ruttman is sitting there in the outside of row number 1.
Well, they don't pay nothing for this first lap or 2 here. We're just going to try to do our best the whole first half of the race. If we're in the top 10 somewhere, at the halfway break, I know this crew can make some adjustments to this thing and hopefully make it a little bit better for us. So the first half of the race, we're going to try to keep the fenders on this GM Goodrich Service Chevrolet, and we might race them a little bit in the second half.
Well, a total of 38 cars are in this field, and I want to know one question as we go to Benny Parsons. Benny, how did I get stuck down here and Dave Despain get stuck running up downstairs? All you have to do is sit up there and sip that Coca-Cola.
Hey, we got to have the good-looking guys up on the roof, Marty, don't you know? But it looks to me like the NASCAR SuperTruck Series by Craftsman has arrived. Last year at this time, there were, 5 or 6 of these trucks in the world, and tonight we sent 3 trucks home, couldn't qualify. And we have our stars, Mike Skinner, Ron Hornaday, big stars in the motorsports world. Joe Ruttman and Butch Miller, they're even bigger stars than ever. Tonight we've got 5 or 6 Winston Cup drivers in the field. We got the Busch Grand National, 1st and 2nd in the points. And we've got 4 guys, Steve Portingate from out west. We got Gary St. Amant from the Midwest. And we've got 2 guys, local guys, Bugs Harefield from right here in Richmond, and Todd Massive down in Haw River, North Carolina, 2 Winston Racing Series regulars that's trying to make a name for themselves in auto racing, and they're doing it through the SuperTruck Series by Craftsman. Guys, this thing is for real. And Dave, please get up here, will you? I can't do all this by myself. Come on, Dave, come on.
Benny, man, I'm working on it. I'm out of breath. How about my 40,000 friends here? Tell me who's going to win the race tonight. Who's going to win? It's unanimous. It's unanimous. We'll be back after the break to see if these people have any idea what they're talking about. Stay tuned for more SuperTruck action from Richmond. Right after this, I got to hurry. We'll be back. How about this? Full moon fever on a Thursday night at Richmond. Boy, that ought to bring out the crazies in the grandstand and on the racetrack. It's the NASCAR SuperTruck Series, and it is brought to you by Chevrolet, proud to be the official truck of the NASCAR SuperTruck Series. And by NASCAR 94 Year in Review. To order your copy, call 1-800-71-NASCAR. They call it the short track that thinks it's a super speedway. Benny, this is quite a joint.
It is quite a joint. In seats about 80, 90,000 people. Here we are, 3/4 of a mile, D-shaped. Backstretch 860 feet. The corners of bank 14 degrees. Home stretch is 8, and the backstretch about flat, just 2 degrees bank.
I heard just about as many guys saying they were tight as loose coming in. We've got 150 laps. The pole speed 116 and change. $165,000 will make it worth going out and tearing up your truck a little bit here tonight. And we've got 38 trucks on the grid, including 2 with onboard cameras. You ride here with Joe Ruttman, who's outside the front row, as we take a look at the starting lineup. Terry Labonte on the pole.
On the second row, Jeff Bodine and Ron Hornaday Jr. Third row,
we got Benson from the Busch Grand National ranks and Rodney Combs Jr., part of a father-son team here.
And look, there's Mike Skinner and Rodney Combs. The old man is behind.
Sedgwick, the crew chief who thinks he's a driver, or maybe the other way around, and the old veteran Waltrip.
In the next row, row 6, Steve Portingay and Hermes Sadler's first race in the Super Trucks.
First time ever we've had brothers in a Super Truck show. Todd Bodine and his brother Jeff, and Derrike Cope, a first-timer.
Back in row 8, Kenny Schrader and Gary St. Amant from Columbus, Ohio.
Top qualified Dodge is Dennis Setzer. He'll start alongside the sprint car racer Sammy Swindell.
In row 10, Mike Bliss and Rick Corelli.
Take you on back through the rest of the show, through the rest of the field here. 38 strong, and they'll be coming around. Pick up that green flag. Butch Miller didn't qualify very well, but then he never does.
They're not going green this time. They are not. The light is atop the pace truck. There's Mike Chase and Chad Little's first race, and there's Bugs Harefield, local boy, Toby Butler.
Kenny Allen and Todd Massey, a couple of the newcomers, comparative newcomers to the series back there. Row 15, row 16. Archer's back. That's good to see.
Tommy Archer and the coach. Not playing football on Thursday night, so here he is.
Keselowski didn't qualify for much in one of 3 Dodges. As you go on back through the provisional starters here tonight, Walker Evans, John Kinder, and T.J. Clark and Bob Reback. Let's note that there are 20 Chevrolets, 15 Fords, and 3 Dodges, but we're going to see a bunch more Dodges coming into this series. Got a hunk of debris out there that they'll clean up before they go green, which should be 1 lap from now. We're going to see a bunch more Dodges coming into this deal next year because they have matched the Ford and Chevy cash. And that's
yes, and we see the light once again on the top of the pace truck, and that means that it will not start. It will not get the green flag the next time by because they've got to come up and pick up the piece of debris. There he is. He just picked it up. Good job.
Sent guys home from, yeah, he did a nice job of that. Scooped it up on the move, kind of like that shortstop guy that played all those games. Can't remember his name. Brass, Davis, Dockett, and Winslow went home, and I think that's another sign of the future. More trucks means a lot of disappointment at the end of qualifying.
And I talked to people today, when we go to Martinsville in 2 weeks, there's going to be even more trucks there.
I can remember when we used to come in the early days of Richmond televised races to this place, and you could really sense the history. I mean, you could remember, you could feel the days when it was a little dirt bull ring where Lee Petty used to race. Now you come to this place, you got 6 Winston Cup drivers in the show, and we'll take a look at who they are and also their number of truck starts. Note down there at the bottom, Bodine, Waltrip, Cope, comparative newcomers. But as you look at this racetrack and at the background shots that you see here, what a job they've done with Richmond Raceway,
man, this is unbelievable. And there's no people in the back grandstand tonight because this place will seat about 80, 90,000. But trust me, Saturday night for the Winston Cup, it will be full. As a matter of fact, all the seats have been sold for 6 months.
And look at the front straightaway. We have put some folks in for the truck race tonight. I don't know that I haven't heard an estimate yet, but they are strung basically from the entrance at turn 3 pretty much full around the middle of turns 1 and 2. And we are looking for the drop of the rag, ladies and gentlemen. We are truck racing at Richmond, and they go 3 wide right from the get-go as Labonte, the pole sitter, takes them down. Ruttman had a notion, couldn't go anywhere, ended up looking a big old wreck at turn 2. We stacked them up, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks looks like involved anyway. There's the coach, he's in it. Toby Butler got tangled up.
And looks like they're all moving.
That kind of started about the middle of the pack, and from the middle on back, it was just a jam scene. Who else got tangled up in that? Looked like Chad Little maybe in his very first truck start. There's some damage to the 25 of Kenny Schrader.
Jack Sprague. Him too.
Let's see how it happened, Benny.
Let's see where we... Oh, there we get some... Butch Miller tags Jack Sprague. And Butch just gets a little bit of damage. The 24 of Lagasse is involved. And then we see Toby Butler in the 21 truck. And Coach Glanville in the 81 stops. And that 11 is Chad Little's also involved. And look at the sparks dragging off the 98 Rebestas truck.
That is not good news for the man who sits fourth in the series standings.
Oh, the right front is flat.
Oh, man. Butch Miller going to try to limp her back around. My dyslexia got me there. Kenny Schrader's 52. Jack Sprague's 25. I got him turned around backwards. But this is Kenny's first truck race since he lost a thumb at one of the preceding events on the tour. He's back and racing here tonight. Qualified, so-so. But here is the big story. Is Butch Miller, who didn't qualify well, told me just before he went out, 23rd, we can move up from there. I think maybe Marty Reed's got something for us on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has got to be a big disappointment for Butch. They're going to go to work on the right side, and right in front of him comes Jack Sprague, as they're going to have to take the left rear on his truck. So obviously some damage, and these guys are going to try and get this done. And already the field has moved through turn number 2, and Butch Miller's ready to move back out.
Wasting no time getting out, stay on the lead lap. Big disappointment when you're fourth in the points. You definitely don't want to be sitting on pit road with a beat-up truck before you get to turn 2 of the race. And Sprague perhaps a little less costly in terms of the season. He's just out here trying to win the race tonight, but nobody likes to get beat up on the first lap.
And Sprague would like to drive this truck next year. I mean, they have not determined who will drive the 25 truck next year. I don't know that Budweiser will be the sponsor, but you know, Sprague is not solid. He needs to go out and have a good run tonight. So
a lot of guys in that situation with 5 races left after tonight, and this series slated to go perhaps 24 dates next year. Probably all, I think inevitably, all on TV. There are going to be some great rides out there that are going to be based on where you end up in the points and where you end up in the last 5 races of the year. Miller's back in.
Back in and look under the car to see what's dragging. I guess Butch has told him that there's something rubbing someplace. He said, no, everything is fine. We see the damage to the nose of the truck, but I think that's superficial. I'm not sure that's going to hurt anything.
They talk about a lot less downforce on the trucks than on the race cars. How big an issue is that going to be here on this 3/4 mile layout? Are they going to feel loose and squirrely?
Well, I think so. The guys talked about those trucks really pushing a lot of air with the nose of the car, as compared to the Winston Cup car, certainly.
Back underway, a 4-lap caution. The restart on 5 with Terry Labonte, the pole sitter, jumping out front. Rutman settling into that 3rd position as they shoot down the backstretch. First time at full race speed.
Wow, there goes Skinner on the edge. Jeff Bodine comes the X-Type truck, takes the lead from Labonte.
How about Skinner? What was he saying in that interview? Just going to sit back, take her easy?
Oh, yeah.
Passed 3 trucks on the first lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it easy. You bet.
That's Johnny Benson, the 18, right behind Skinner.
Boy, that kid's a good young race driver. But he's about to be challenged. Hornaday up the inside. Love the way they can run side by side here.
This is the precision gear onboard camera.
Looking out the front of Benson, at the back of Hornaday. He's running 5th at the moment. What about speed on this racetrack? Benny, they qualified just short of a $120. What's that translate into for straightaways?
We're probably looking at 135, 140 miles an hour, about right there. Jeff Bodine backs off the gas, applies the brakes, takes the car right to the bottom of the racetrack.
Chad Little told me he couldn't figure out this braking thing. They got big brakes apparently on his truck, and he said he just couldn't figure it out. How much brake do you use going to the corner here?
Quite a bit, especially going in turn 3 because it's such a sharp corner as compared to 1. So if you watch these trucks go down in turn 1, we'll see that that corner is very gradual. The D shape goes in that corner, and it's not too bad. But in 3, the corner's a lot sharper.
Riding along with Joe Rutman, looking out the back, and looking at Skinner, who's come from 7th starting spot to run 4th. Further back in the field.
Porting Gandy 83, that's Todd Bodine on the outside in Jack Roush's truck. And there goes the green Combs, Rodney Combs in the green 43, the snapper truck.
Mention Schrader, too, so people know that he really is in the race. Yeah, that wasn't a complete Saturday. At 32 is Derrike. You probably recognize that paint job. First time in a truck for Cope. We have 6 Winston Cup guys in the show here, and 7 drivers making their first truck start. And I think as much as any other statistic, that probably speaks well for what you talked about at the top of the show. All the interest and enthusiasm for this series.
A tremendous amount of enthusiasm. There's the other Rodney Combs in the blue truck right in front of Schrader. And there we see Hornaday and Cope. That's Hornaday, the black number 83. And Cope in the main and tail 32. And there's Hermie Sadler, the 00. Brand new truck this race, first time out.
I love to listen to that kid talk. Good thing he doesn't talk driving.
Oh, we got a spin coming off turn 4. Looks like the 22.
That's Todd Massey making his first appearance here, and Richmond jumped out and bit him coming off of 4. He got her up against the inside retaining wall for the second caution of the race on lap 12. No change up front. Bodine has shown the way since he jumped in front of Labonte. We'll take a break and come back with more. Look at the people. Trucks on the lead lap, and there you see the top 15 of them, led by Jeff Bodine, leading truck race for the first time here, although he came close to leading at Indianapolis right before the truck swapped in and slapped the wall. You got about as close to the lead as you can get.
You're such a nice guy. You had to bring that up, didn't you?
Well, it was spectacular, and you saw it here live. Who is this guy? I thought he was out there driving.
They got him in the grandstand. Hey, folks.
Have a cornflake. Have some
Pretty good picture, isn't it?
It really is. It really is, yeah. I'll tell you what, race fans are fanatics, and we got a ton of them here tonight. What do you reckon, Parsons? 40,000 maybe?
I would think 40, 45,000 people here tonight. Great crowd to watch the super trucks. And I tell you, I don't think they're going to be disappointed.
It's a triple header weekend, of course, with the Busch Grand National cars running here tomorrow night. Winston Cup cars on Saturday night. So there's a whole lot of racing and shaking going on at Richmond International.
Precision Gear, you see the sponsor on this Johnny Benson truck. They make ring and pinions, you know, for the gears in the cars. Also, Detroit, they're distributor for the locker units in the back.
So what's up with this camber deal now? I heard some trucks had camber trouble here.
18 trucks were unable to get through the inspection as they were because of camber problems.
You have 4 seconds to finish your explanation. We'll be right back. Gordon, Winston Cup point leader, coming up next on Shop Talk. You were supposed to see that right after the Darlington race. It took him so long to win Darlington that you didn't get to see it then, so you will see it tonight here on ESPN2. And momentarily, you will see the fall of the green flag as Jeff Bodine comes off turn 4 with Hornaday all over him. We're racing again live at Richmond.
And Hornaday caught on the outside of Swindell. He is able to get by, but he's right on the back bumper of Jeff Bodine.
Wants to get that halfway money.
Man, oh man.
Those who are not mathematically prepared will probably realize this is just past the halfway point. But,
yep, right. Got to do it under the green flag, and you see, look at the traffic coming off. There's a 24, that's Lagasse. Darrell Waltrip and Skinner. Schrader. And there's Rutman.
And that's all for position. Meanwhile, Benson with the fuel problem, whatever it may be, tries to hang on to his lap and momentarily jump on board the 84 truck there of Rutman. Here are your leaders. Hornaday's got a notion.
And I think he's, oh no, he ran over the apron of the racetrack to keep hitting the 7, and they'll get the caution the next time by. And we'll see who's going to be leading.
Jeff wasn't born yesterday. We knew Hornaday was good into 3. I was surprised he tried it in 1, but I guess he figured he was going to need that long to get it done. They will come to the caution with Bodine showing the way by 2 truck lengths over Hornaday, who is 3rd ranked in the series. They'll take a 5-minute break, during which Marty Reed will earn his money, and then they will restart this race. Let's go to listen to Benson's guys.
When you see a leader down on pit road, I'm not sure if it's supposed to wait for the pace truck or not. Okay, the pace truck has got the leader. I'll tell you if I see him coming this way, buddy.
They're trying to get every moment, every second they can to work on the truck. And yes, the pace truck is coming down. Pace truck is bringing the field down pit road.
Yeah, they're coming down pit road, John.
Benson certainly doesn't want to do anything that will violate the rules and get him in trouble after working as hard as he did here to save his lap. All the trucks are on pit road. Marty Reed will be a hustling guy when we come back here, covering the 5-minute break as they try to shape these trucks for the second half of this 150-lap battle. We'll be right back. Take you back through the rest of the field. Now, what happens next is Benny and I go cop a hot dog and we turn the show over to Marty Reed, and he runs up and down pit road like a crazy person. Marty, you ready, buddy? Take a deep breath and have at it. It's your television show.
Thanks, guys. Track shoes are on. You're taking a look at Joe Ruttman's truck. They're making major adjustments. They just put the tires back on, the fresh ones. They made the back end hopefully a little bit tighter. Remember, he was loose. Here is Jeff Bodine doing his radio interview. That truck is A-OK. They're doing fine. But come on with me. Second place, Hornaday's got the hood up, and he is looking like we've got some smoke, and they are looking for something that possibly could be leaking. Let me see if I can poke in here real quick, find out what's happening. Ron, we see the fact that the hood is up. Anything wrong underneath there that you need to worry about?
Just trying to get some extra coolant under the Papa John Chevrolet. You know, the guy's done a great job with this truck. We'll just see what we can do for him the second half.
Any other adjustments you're going to make? Was it getting a little loose there at the end?
We're just going to make a tire pressure adjustment. You know, Dale's up there the first time in that SuperTruck race. Going to say hi to them and my kids at home. But no, we're not making too much of the tire pressure adjustment. We'll see what we got for him in the second half.
Okay, now let's move further back into the line because we'll try and update you on a few others. Johnny Benson's team, they're working on the truck here. You know, we talked and overheard them talking about possibly changing the fuel cell. They can't possibly do that, nor the filter or anything else. What they're going to do is fill the tank back up. They think it might be a pickup problem. They're going to keep their fingers crossed that it's going to go that way. Let's get in here and see if we can get word with Johnny now that the crew's out of the way. Johnny, how serious? We've been listening on the radio, so we know what's been going on. How much confidence do you have in this truck right now?
Well, I'm not sure. We're fighting a fuel pressure problem, but I guess we'll find out. I don't know. We're just checking the filter. We ain't got enough time to change the pump.
So you got it there. They're going to have to go to work and get the tires off, so we're going to move on further down. Mike Skinner, of course, he came up and then started to back up. So let's see, and they've got the hood up as well. So the guys on the crew are working. Let me see if I can poke my head in here real quick. Rich Burgess and the guy up, and they're saying they need a minute. And that's the first time they've turned us down all season long, so that means they've got a bit of a problem. Anybody else you want to talk about right now, guys? I think the guy to watch in the second half may be Kenny Schrader. I don't know about you. He started 15th. I think he's running 6th.
Marty, right behind you. Grab Childers, right behind you. Ask him what's going on.
Oh, well, he's still in. They've got their head in there, and I'll tell you what. Richard?
He don't know what's going on.
Marty, Benny's going to get you in trouble.
Richard, what about the truck? This is the first time that the guys have ever turned us down on one of these quick breaks.
Well, we're just trying to talk it over. You know, we're not sure which way we want to go here. You know, the truck's got a bad push in the middle, and then when it gets turned, it's loose getting off. So we're just trying to decide which way we want to go here.
Well, so now we got at least to talk to the team owner, Mike. The guys, I mean, this is serious stuff. They want to win this race, and obviously it's a little worse than they're probably letting on because they've never had this big a powwow during this 5-minute break. Guys, they're firing them up, getting ready to put them back out. I think it's time for me to take a break.
He did pretty good.
He did pretty good. I'm impressed. I am impressed.
He earned his money. Well, is it pushing or is it loose? We'll find out when we come back. Here's the scene at Richmond. Trucks lined up on the backstretch. The last 2 or 3 trucks are firing up over on pit road and moving into position and get ready to restart for the second half of the FasMart 150. Stay tuned. Richmond International Raceway getting ready for the restart. Meanwhile, in the open wheel wars, we've got the Formula One GP of Italy. Yes, that is a large one. The defending champion Damon Hill looking to get back into the points race on Sunday morning at 8:50 a.m. A little later in the day, they got the Indy cars running the Toyota Grand Prix Bank of America race out at Laguna Seca. Paul Tracy is going for his 3rd consecutive win in that race. He would become only the 2nd driver in history to win 3 in a row at Laguna Seca. Good luck, Paul. That'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday afternoon.
The Grand Prix of Italy, as we watch the field summary, you know, when Johnny Herbert won the Formula One race in England, And all those people went nuts and waving their Union Jacks and all that. Imagine in Italy if a Ferrari would win. Man, they'd be mad at it.
That would be a major deal. It's been a lot of years since that happened, too. On down through the tail end of the field there, I don't see anybody who really jumps out at. How about this Harefield guy now? He's a local boy who's really picked out this truck deal. What do we got here? Push trucks, push trucks. It's just like sprint cars on Thursday Thunder. That's straight, getting the shove, getting rolling. He's about the tail end of the field there.
I got to say hello.
28th or something.
Bob Strait want me to say hello to a guy.
Well, you better do it.
Rocky Wick. Ponton. Was that how you pronounce that?
I guess.
They all wanted to wish him a speedy recovery. He's recovering from bone marrow transplant.
There's some fun.
In the Chicagoland area. So,
All right, Rocky, we're
Mike
all pulling
Chase
for you, buddy. Mike Chase in his second appearance in this truck. P.J. Jones is out. Mike Chase is in. It's not good when they're pushing your truck backwards and the rest of the field is coming down getting the one-to-go sign.
And we can see all the water in his pit area. So they've been working on that car. It looks like something's been hot.
It had to come from somewhere, didn't it?
And I see that someone is running the back of the truck. Did this just happen? But it happened before. Okay. Okay, so he had to have the truck push started and he came in. So
reckon they did all that damage pushing it?
Well, I hope not. Well, you better
Chase,
hustle because they're going to throw the green in about a half lap.
Whatever they're going to do, they better do it quick. Well, the interesting situation here is going to be Hornaday, I think. A little air pressure adjustment, and the other one is going to be Skinner. That black 3 going by on the outside as you watch the field come streaming by. The lap truck's down on the inside. There was a major powwow at Skinner's place during the break, and they were not in a chit-chatty mood because they were having a hard time deciding between tight and loose. When your car is both at the same time, the chassis adjustment is a little difficult to figure out. We're ready to get back at it, ladies and gentlemen. The green is out at Richmond International Raceway.
Ooh, and Hornaday's already on the inside. 509 and takes the lead. Coming off 2 is Hornaday in the lead.
I reckon they got it right, huh?
I guess they did.
Or Hornaday ain't waiting to find out if it's wrong.
Man, he dove on the inside now. Then 09. This is the first time that we've seen a truck all night that is faster than his. Can he come back?
He's been good on the restarts, too, and Hornaday knew it, and he jumped him when they went green. It was a beautiful pass going into turn 1. Hornaday, the leader for the first time tonight. Bodine is all over him in second spot. There's Terry Labonte running third. Started on the pole. Working in third.
Bodine trying to get under him. Trying. He knows he needs to do it now as quick as he can because he looks in the mirror and here comes Labonte.
Bit of a gap back to...
Oh, they got a spin. 40 gauge right in front of the field. And the 34, Bree back is spun.
To miss what he thought was going to be. What was it you said here a couple of weeks ago? He was trying to avoid the wreck, and he became the wreck. Yeah. I thought that was your best line all year. They both got tangled. We'll see how it came about there. There is Bree back, getting back up to speed. Benny, see if you can spot him here.
Let's see, he's the black truck, and he comes down, tries to get under someone. He turns right in front of the 11. That's Chad Little. They make contact, and right here, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting real nervous, and he stopped backing up just in time.
When you are sideways, driver's side facing the rest of the field, that is a scary moment. 5th caution of the night for Porton Gay. Let's go to Marty Reed.
Yeah, Mike Chase has got a big problem. When they had that contact, it cut the battery cable. That's what they're trying to fix. It's created an electrical problem. Just shut the truck off, and they are struggling to try and get this thing back into the contest.
I was scared he was going to say it broke the battery, but thank goodness he said it cut the battery cable.
The diehard folks will be very pleased about that turn. So we have a new leader here in the truck race. Hornaday has led 10 races this season, including this one, and is a force to be reckoned with in terms of the championship. He is 94 points behind Skinner in the standings, and he is 4 positions ahead of Skinner tonight on the racetrack. And you can bet that Bodine will be all over him. He's got a little donut on the side of that 16. He worked it a little bit coming up through the traffic.
Well, I think he touched that 7 truck, that Excite truck down in turn 1. I think they went like that. I guess we can't. I should have clapped in front of my microphone so the folks at home would know what I was talking about.
Well, I got the picture.
They smacked one another down in the corner.
Yeah. Waltrip's 4th and having a pretty good go here. Well, he was 10th, I believe, in qualifying. So, after an action-packed restart, I'm ready to set him back to green and see whether Hornaday's as good as he appeared there.
You know, as people get older, they all get trucks, and Darrell Waltrip's the same way. He gets a little older, got him a truck.
He's moved to from 6 spots as we go green with Hornaday the leader for the first time. Let's see if he can hang on.
Bodine on a tough break there. He's got to pass the 38 on the outside. And meanwhile, Hornaday saying, I'll see you. Well, he's not going to pass him on the outside either.
Gonna wait for Swindell to slip up the racetrack, and Bodine's going to go underneath him. Slap traffic factor here.
Oh, and Nemechek just kind of knocked the 38 up out of the way. Darrell Waltrip, and there we see Skinner on the inside. Schrader.
Skinner.
Now look at Bodine. Look how easily that he caught the 16. He's going to try it on the inside, and yes, it's Bodine back in front.
The battle of the brakes goes to Bodine right at the spot where we commented that Hornaday had been so strong all evening. That might bode well for Bodine.
And there we see Schrader on the inside, taking a look, couldn't make it. The 87, the silver truck, is John Nemechek. That's Joe's little brother.
Rudman is the next truck behind him, and perhaps has not gotten dramatically better after the break. He's still at 6 or 7. Started second, went backward quickly. Apparently has not gotten a lot better during the break, and is currently in 7th spot, though second in the point standings.
He's trying to get on the inside of the 87. Oh, and the 24 truck spun. And how in the world? I thought they'd all missed him, but they didn't.
That was a major hit, too.
It was. And we see Butch Miller's involved.
Scott Lagasse got turned sideways on the backstretch and then got hit a ton. And there you see the damage to Miller.
Looked like Butch is the guy that did all the most of the hitting.
See them both moving around in there. That's good.
Some pretty heavy damage to the Rebestas truck.
Yeah. They got tangled big time, and then after Lagasse got set, exactly what you were talking about here on the front straightaway, that scary moment when you know there are a lot of trucks coming and you're sideways in the racetrack, and that's how the front got ripped off. The thing is, Lagasse took a big hit after the fact.
Go back over to the other truck, to the Lagasse truck. What's that in the front?
See Miller moving around in there.
What's that stuck in the front of the 24 truck? Is that? Oh, that's the nose of the truck. I thought it was roll bars out of something, but it's just
it looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's just a grill piece out of this truck.
Those are the headlights facing you, Benny. You know you hurt your truck when it's facing the wrong direction and the headlights are still pointing at you.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened. There we see Lagasse makes contact. He comes down and spins. The 30 truck goes on the inside, just misses him. And look at all that traffic behind that goes by with Sprague. Almost made it. And the Walker Evans comes along, hits him, and boom, into him goes the 98 of Butch Miller.
Here's the impact from Walker Evans. Picked that truck right up off the ground.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott Lagasse's neck is going to be sore tomorrow. We see the gasoline coming out, so.
Second wreck of the night for Butch Miller, who's had a frustrating evening. We had commented on how well he was doing under the circumstances. There's Butch out to take a look at it.
Uh-oh, he said, uh-oh.
We heard it. Big blow for his championship hopes. He was 4th, 127 points out. And here is Scott Lagasse in the Jeff Gordon look-alike costume, the road racer, who finds out just how tough oval racing can be here tonight.
Man, that was a tough lick.
Beat her up on both ends. It's about as hard as you want to get hit right there.
Mm-hmm. We have a stationary camera back coming off the turn 2. Let's see if we can see what happens. There we see Lagasse.
They get touched there.
It looked like he might have gotten touched by someone. He gets out of shape, and that started the spin. And then we'll continue on, and this is the spin. And he goes around, and Setzer does a big job, good job getting by. And the 25 truck looks like he's going straight towards him, and he, at the last instant, dodges. And Walker Evans, I think his view was blocked by the 25. He doesn't see him.
Walker didn't see him.
And banged into him, and the 98 looked like he was going on the inside, and all of a sudden that Walker Evans knocked the 24 truck right in the path of the 98 truck.
That's only the second time this year that Butch Miller has failed to finish one of these things. Remember how we joked early that he was third every time? Hello, cutie. Nice to see the kids come out. Richmond International Raceway. We'll be right back. ESPN2, we are live. We are under yellow. And we'll probably take one more look at the reason why.
We had a wreck, folks, a huge wreck, large wreck.
When bad things happen to good people, they happen in a hurry. Is this going to be the real timer? Yeah, this is. He just about had time to think, man, maybe I'm not going to get. And then he got hit.
Yeah. And then he got hit twice. And we see Hermie Sadler, thanks to Emporia, Virginia, on the back of that truck. And
Sadler 16th in the order.
And they're doing something to the left rear, and the right front is missing on that truck.
One of the big advantages, look at the left side of your screen, big advantage of truck racing. When you do wreck your truck, you have a place to load all the scrap to haul it back to the garage.
On the bed of the truck, yeah.
Actually, I think the back is the scrap. There's not much left on that.
No, there isn't. Now they can take that back to Liberty Ford up in Cleveland, Ohio, and there the left rear tire they're running that poor rim. Here's the top 15. We see Sprague that just missed. The accident is in 15th spot. Todd Bodine in Jack Roush's truck in 8th place. I don't think we've talked too much about Todd.
He had a call. He's you know, those guys are going to be serious about anything they do. The Roush crew will announce a three-car lineup for Winston Cup next year. Portengay is the last truck on the lead lap despite his recent spin. You saw Sadler just now in the pits, and then all the guys who have gone one lap down. Any particular notables among that?
And we see
looks like a pretty
Todd Massey a couple of laps down, and Tommy Archer 3. Butch Miller we see is 5, but how many ever laps we have to go, that will continue to grow.
Kinder was the first truck out, and up until this wreck, I believe the only truck out of the event, although T.J. Clark had gone 22 laps down. Now they'll clean up the debris.
Isn't this a beautiful racetrack?
Fantastic place.
The Sawyers have done a magnificent job here.
Well, Paul tells some great stories. Paul's been a promoter for about 100 years now. He tells some great stories about going out in the field with the tickets in a suitcase and sell the tickets, and get your purse, and pay the money, and everybody goes home happy.
There it is, the 3/4 mile Richmond International Raceway.
And it is full of folks tonight for the truck race. We'll take a break with Bodine and Hornaday shaping up as a two-truck shootout. We're back at Richmond, continuing track cleanup, circulating under the yellow flag. Tonight's coverage being brought to you by Goodyear, #1 in tires, and of course by the good people at Wolverine DuraShocks. Check out that slogan, guaranteed to be the world's most comfortable boots or your money back. I wish I'd written that. Work like hell, feel like heaven. That's good. I like that.
It must be out of Michigan, huh?
I reckon.
Guess what? We're going to see more action in just a second. Are you ready?
Yeah, I got my 50 cents. You got your 50 cents. Who's going to win this, Bodine or Hornaday?
Bodine, I think. I think they made him a little mad when they passed him a while ago.
Hornaday come by him like Jack the Bear, and Bodine said no thank you to that. Came back and passed him back, and now sits on the point as the pace truck pulls in, and we get set to go back to green. The blue and black #7 of Bodine shows the way on lap 95. 55 to go. Hornaday wants a piece on the outside. It's the long round.
And Bodine gives him room.
He did. Great pick, it's real narrow.
And he knows that it's awfully long out there. And now the 16's going to try it on the inside. But can he outrun that 4 down the straightaway? And we see that the 38 and the 87 Nemechek and Swindell has Labonte hung behind him, and he just can't get by them. And look at Skinner and 52 Schrader.
Waltrip's just in front of them, trying third.
There's Ruttman.
Ruttman alongside Schrader. Will that work? Ought to be all right.
I don't know.
What is that, 5th, 6th?
He's got Schrader hung behind Nemechek.
And here's what it looks like if you're in the middle of it. From Ruttman's truck.
800 collect.
Call me an army.
Yeah. Get some help quick.
Looking back at Schrader. Again, coming up alongside Nemechek, the lap truck. Swindell's lapper. Let's go to Marty Reed. Here's Butch Miller. Marty.
We're glad to see, Butch Miller, that you're okay. The truck is hurt pretty bad.
It's hurt real bad. You know, we crushed for Ray Bestman's side, no doubt about it. Mom, I'm okay. You got to know that.
You guys were going to try and get back in, but it doesn't look like you can.
Well, we've broken the motor mounts and we've broken the oil lines, and it's just not looking good for getting back out there. But I've got a great crew. It's a great team. We're going to do everything we can to get back out and run a couple more laps for points.
Oh, we've got another spin out there, guys? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, no. Oh, no. He just did a 360, kept on going. No problem. Everything's okay, Marty.
Coach just showing off. 23rd spot, no harm done. This is the race, and it's a good one.
And I think Rutland's truck is better. I think they made some adjustments, and here's Skinner on the inside of DW trying to take that spot away, and here comes Rutland trying to follow him.
Just to finish the Miller story, he has not had a top 5 finish since he won the race at Denver back in July. He wanted to win one so bad, he won one, hadn't had a top 5 since.
Schrader just could not get on the inside of DW. Now here's the coach, Coach Glanville. Uh-oh, what happened there? Here we go.
That was free. We didn't charge you extra for that. Well, he can't blame anybody else.
Coach gets down in the grass, does a good job saving it. The nose points forward. He lets off the brakes, puts it in gear, says, okay.
The proverbial nice piece of drive. This should be 5th and 6th. And Schrader has a notion.
He has a position, too.
There you go. If you're fast through the middle of the corner, it'll pay off on the straightaway for 6th spot.
And Labonte goes by Hornaday. Does Hornaday have a problem? Because Labonte made that pass so easy.
These guys are side by side for 6th. Meanwhile, that is a major development up front because Hornaday looked like the man who could do battle with the leader, Bodine. And now suddenly he has slipped to 3rd. This is a good fight right here.
Here's a good fight. Looks like the Schrader has the spot.
Let's go to Marty with the other guy involved in that big wreck. Marty.
Well, guys, I hate to say this. I think you probably had a better view of what happened in that crash than Scott Lagasse. It's great to see that you're okay. Take us through what you know.
Well, thank you, Marty. It's pretty tight racing coming up off of 2 over there. We got a little tap from somebody, started us going back and forth. I got it gathered up and just got it turned around on the middle straightaway. A couple of trucks got into us, so I don't know. It was almost short night for the DuPont 24 truck, and I hate it for Jeff and Rick, the whole team, but hey, we'll keep coming back.
About the only thing I can say on the positive side, guys, is that Jeff Gordon left before the crash. He doesn't know it's been hurt.
And here we go for the lead. Labonte has caught Jeff Bodine, and he clearly has the fastest truck right now.
So Bodine has a challenge, perhaps not the one he expected. Labonte is a salty dog, and especially on this racetrack. He's won the last 2 Winston Cup races here.
Where did he come from? I mean, I thought he was out of it, and all of a sudden, it's like he put in a different gear.
Reminds you of Bristol, perhaps?
Yeah.
Kind of did the same thing there.
Maybe put in the winning gear, huh?
Yeah. Just kind of emerges. The Iceman, they call him.
He's on the inside. He's trying to take a look. Bodine comes down, and that was close, ladies and gentlemen, and now here he does come.
Oh, look at that. That's like surgery.
Tell me, is that beautiful or what?
He set that up so nice going in. I thought he was going to wait a lap. Now just drive by old Bodine here and lead this thing again. The pole sitter is back on top, and I'll tell you who else is cooking out there. It's Todd Bodine. He's up to 7. They're doing a nice job in that number 61 Roush racing truck. I'm sure we'll get another look at him. Let's see if this got Bodine mad again so he can stop back up there. Trouble on the backstretch. Number 65 will be Kenny Allen, who had taken pretty good care of that truck all night.
Now Kenny, don't back up in front of somebody now.
He'd gotten a lap down in 24th spot. He's pretty much stayed out of trouble until he brought out the 7th caution of the night.
And we can see some pretty heavy damage to the front of that truck. Onsat is a TD guy.
All right, he's listening to you. He didn't do anything dumb there.
Yeah, good. Let's see if we can tell what happened. Man, this is a real gaggle of cars. There we see Rodney Combs. That's the green car. And he goes up and just gets a little bit of a tap from Bill Sedgwick. And Sedgwick goes down and just
underneath him. That was close.
I guess he caught the nose of the truck as he went by.
In fact, he was trying to avoid something he thought was going to happen in front of him and ended up with a bent nose for his trouble on one of the 20 Chevrolets in the lineup here this evening. And been running in, now I've lost him, 23rd spot. We'll be right back. Well, we gave you a little preview of this earlier. We'll give you the full details. Baseball Across America coming up at 10:30. Now that may be next at the rate we're going here because this thing is tending to run a little long. It's minor league playoffs. The Portland Sea Dogs, that's Benny's favorite team, and they have already clinched first place in the Northern Division with a record of 83-55, and we are so proud of them. And they're taking on the New Haven Ravens. That's got a nice ring to
the
it.
Portland Sea, is that Portland, Maine?
I have no idea. Portland. Don't ask hard questions. I'm being assured that it is Portland, Maine.
The Sea Dogs, huh?
10:30.
And the New Haven Ravens.
New Haven Ravens.
Rhymes anyway.
Now, who pitted here? We had the number 30 Dodge in there. Dennis Setzer pitted out of, I believe, 7th spot, and the hood went up, and he's going to be about 14th. Well, he'd be 14th if he weren't in the garage area.
Yeah,
since he's in the garage area, his chances will be hurt dramatically. 75 is also on pit road. That's Bill Sedgwick, who's kind of struggled here this evening, and they've got the hood up on that truck.
Yep.
So the Spears Ford entry, no, it's a Chevrolet.
Yep.
Is in trouble. We're about to go back to green.
Now then, Jeff Bodine has been getting a good jump on the restarts. When they have cold tires or the tires get a chance to cool off, is he going to have a chance to get by Labonte? Uh-oh, he's got a tough break. John Nemechek has got Bodine on the outside, and that's tough.
Hornaday had a notion down here on the inside for a minute. But now he's got Nemechek to deal with. Bodine is loose of him, and Labonte's looking in his mirror saying, attaboy, stay in their way. Let me get away here.
Oh, and receive Rutland and Schrader heading for the same spot. They worked it out.
This is on board with Rutland. I reckon Schrader's behind him, huh?
I guess he is. Either that or he spun down that corner with no caution, so I guess he's behind him. Yep, there's Schrader.
Schrader's the 52, the red, white, and blue truck. Chasing the black 84. Joe Rutman. All the fuss about his truck owner, Ernie Irvin, who will have a press conference on September 19th.
Oh, and there goes Schrader trying to get on the inside.
Ooh, baby. Gave him that little tap just to let him know he was coming, and he swung down the inside. Press conference will be on September 19th. Do I have that right?
Yep. About
what Ernie Irvin's plans will be for the remainder of this season or perhaps next year. In the middle of all that, Joe Rutman is saying, guys, I don't want to make too much of a fuss about it, but we do still have a chance to win this championship here with us 46 points out. Unfortunately, tonight he has struggled a bit. He's chasing Skinner.
And here comes Rutland trying to get on the inside. That's Chad Little on the outside. The 11 truck, and he is a lap down.
He's doing all right tonight. His first truck a lap down, and he is 16th on the field. So he's doing pretty well. The second-ranked driver in BGN.
And we see that the 32 truck of Derrike trying to get to the front.
That's Benson he's racing with, and that truck seems to be working. He is 10th. Up on the outside there of Mike Bliss.
And Bliss, that's a poor position, and Bliss takes it away from Benson.
We haven't given Mike Bliss a call here tonight. He didn't qualify very well. He hasn't taken it back yet, has
he? No, he hasn't taken it back yet.
I would say that is still under debate.
Yes, they're debating that pretty heavily down the back straightaway.
Debate right up into the back of the show. Who else is back then we haven't given a call? Pirelli.
Yep.
He's been a contender most of these things. He was the one who tapped Hornaday and got him sideways across the finish line in the last race at Flemington. He's 13th tonight. Not so hot for the High Plains drifter. Bliss started 19th. He's doing pretty well. He's up to 10th.
The 30 truck has dropped the valve, so Dennis Setzer is out for the evening. And the 75 of Sedgwick is overheating, I'm told. And there goes Bliss trying to get by Benson. How many laps did you run side by side? 3 now?
Bliss out of Milwaukee, Oregon, now making his home in North Carolina. Committed to NASCAR competition for his future. Likes his truck deal. And finally pulls on by Benson and says, I'll take that spot for the moment. Benson coming right back on the outside. That's a good race.
A great race.
Lap traffic is going to perhaps play a role here. I don't know. We got some coming.
Oh, and Nemechek almost crashed.
They're happy to have him out of the way.
Yeah. And Bliss finally has the spot from Benson.
That is 10 spots. So Bliss is now inside the top 10 after about 5 laps work to get there. Graduate of Thursday Thunder, not unlike Jeff Gordon. Perhaps not the meteoric rise to NASCAR fame that we've seen of Gordon, but this is really his first year at it. So a lot of people looking at Mike Bliss and saying, boy, can drive a race car. This guy's a race truck.
Let's see what's happened to Terry Labonte and Bodine. There we are. And we see that Hornaday has almost caught up with Jeff Bodine. That's the Papa John's pizza, the red and white number 16. He's chasing the Exide battery number 7. That's Jeff Bodine. Dave Resendez, the Bodine looks like he's lost the handle just a tick.
Horday's up on the outside. Dan throws right alongside him on the outside, going the long way around. He may have called that just right.
That looks like that was a signal from Bodine to go on by on the outside. For him to try that as easily as he did or as quickly as he did, I think that was a signal from Jeff Bodine that said, I can't outrun you. Go ahead on the outside, see if you can catch that 5.
See if you can do anything with Labonte.
Yep.
This is 4th and 5th. Skinner and Rutman, top 2 drivers in the point standings, racing for 4th here tonight.
Really need to beat him. You're doing a good job. You can do it.
Jimmy, tell him we really need to beat that 3 truck. We've got to start beating him and chasing him, getting some points. More points than he is.
46 back. Caution. We got a caution just as Rutman was having a notion. Looks like number 11 may have blown up. Chad Little, just after we bragged about him there, has apparently lost an engine and dropped the yellow and is coasting on the backstretch. Well, that's 2 tough weekends in a row.
Joe, it looks like you're getting through 1 and 2 a lot better.
In terms of his championship hopes. Got crashed there and got blown up tonight. Some weeks are like that, aren't you, Benny? You've been there.
This is part of the Alter Wheels team. This is one of their trucks, and that ITCO, ITCO, one of the largest distributors of tires and wheels in the world, said we want to try that a couple of races, see if we enjoy it. So they borrowed the truck, and there they are. And the 77 truck. Gary St. Amant comes in, some heavy smoke out of that truck.
It's like the end of a long day for him too, perhaps. It's like a break for St. Amant coming out of the ASA ranks. Yeah, I think you're right. It's definitely smoking off the right front. We'll take a quick break and come back with more. You want to see racing? You need ESPN2 at your house, at your neighbor's house. We want everybody in the neighborhood watching. What they say last week in Darlington, Benny, we're going to do 500 hours or 700 hours or something like that of motorsports on ESPN2 next year. I love that stuff.
That's why I have a meeting Tuesday to talk about it with some of my people down there in Cabarrus County.
Benny trying to make a deal. Well, can anybody catch Labonte? We pretty well offered our opinions on Hornaday and Bodine, and then Labonte came up there to make us both look dumb because he just kind of lurked back in the shadows. I haven't seen anything in that last green flag run to indicate that there's anybody there that can touch him.
Man, I'm telling you, look at those guys all racing for position 1 a lap down, 16th all the way back to like 28th.
And some guys you don't typically expect to see in that group either, notably Rick Corelli a lap down. He just hasn't had much of a night. Keselowski's done pretty well, coming from, what was he, 34th, I think?
Yes, he was.
34th to 22nd, so he got 12 of them out of the way.
Dave, we're about 30 seconds from happiness. We're going to be throwing the green flag. We're going to be racing in just a second.
Drop the rag, and we'll have 22 laps to decide it. Labonte, having started up front, dropped back into the pack, sat there, watched the boys play, watched them wreck, figured out what everybody else had, tweaked the truck a little at the halftime break, and now comes back when it matters and said, hey, I'm probably the best guy out here. Hornaday may have something for him. We'll find out as we go back to green. Here they come. to the bottom. Hornaday will look up the outside and say, hey, that is a fast truck. 5 wide, too.
Hornaday needs to get by as quick as he can because it looks like after a couple of laps that the 5 truck Labonte just drives away. But Hornaday's looking on the, he's looking. Here we go, turn 3. He's there.
That was a nice move.
And right behind him, here comes Skinner on the inside. Well, anyway, what race do you want to watch?
Pick one.
We'll pick the leaders right now.
I like this one. He can keep Labonte up there.
Labonte won't give up, will he? And we see that Bodine has been able to get by Skinner. Or stay in front of Skinner, I should say that. To be more correct.
What a battle.
Man, for the lead.
Hornaday outbraked him into 3 to get alongside. Picked up that truck length that he needed and has now stayed there 2.5 laps. And neither of them give up.
And here comes
again.
At least we can see how much contact they made. That Hornaday goes all the way to the inside, and now I think Labonte has the lead again, but
yeah, give it to him now. And looks what happened as a result. Bodine and Skinner are right there to make it 3 wide for a moment.
I think the 16 truck made some contact and might have towed the truck in or bent the tire off.
Hornaday definitely got into it pretty firmly the previous lap and have now dropped back 2 truck lengths. Bodine and Skinner caught him in the midst of all this fray. Now Darrell Waltrip going side by side with Cope in the battle for 8th spot. Cope will get it in his first ever truck race. Darrell's second truck race. A couple of Winston Cup regulars trailing the lap 38 of Swindell, who's 17th the lap down.
Now the next victim in the front of the 32 of Derrike Cope is Todd Bodine, another Winston Cup driver. And we see Benson back behind the 17, so evidently putting some gasoline in that truck solved his fuel pressure problem.
Mr. Fixton, he's 10th on the field, been able to run competitively through the second half of the race here.
There he's seeing. I thought he'd wreck.
Well, he may yet. Swindell up alongside Clunk.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, that's my spot. Would you please get out of the way? And he did.
Swindell spent his whole life in sprint cars. When you really can't afford to do that, he gets in this truck and says, oh, man, I love having fenders. Bliss is in the thick of that, along with Sprague, who is tucked onto his tail as he races Mike Chase.
That's 11th and 12th.
Lot of action all the way back through the pack, and of course, points riding with every position. Bliss is currently 9th in the championship standings.
DW trying to look on the inside. Comes down the hill. There's Benson watching all this.
8th, 9th, and 10th. And the situation is pretty well settled in for the moment. Labonte has established a 5-truck lead over Hornaday, who in turn is 5 trucks in front of Bodine and Skinner. And this is where the action is inside the top 10.
And here comes Hornaday. He has passed Labonte. What happened?
Better keep an eye on that 5 truck because he made up 5 truck lengths in 1 lap.
The 16 truck just made up the. Here we're going to try it again. Hey, Hornaday, that's the apron, my man.
Had her a little sideways. Labonte's all over the racetrack. That's good stuff.
And here comes Bodine. He's not out of this thing here.
I'm dazzled at how he made that up. I mean, we were not kidding you, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment he crossed, start, and finish, and I said he had 5 truck lengths. He had 5 truck lengths. At the other end of the racetrack, he got passed.
And here's Bodine and contact. And Hornaday goes around. Oh, it backs in the fence. Oh, done it.
3rd-ranked driver in the standings. Look out, boys. There's a sideways truck up there, and they all squeeze through. We've got a yellow for a Hornaday, who is tapped by Bodine. Man, oh, man. Post-race discussion coming between Hornaday and Bodine, perhaps?
No.
Just a little chat. Say, Jeff, you know, could have lived without that.
He's got to go in the pits and get that fender knocked off the tire, I think Hornaday does.
Earnhardt's here. Dale Earnhardt owns the truck. There you see the damage that came as he backed into the wall. Let's see how it was triggered. Watch the number 7 coming up behind Hornaday.
Bodine dives to the inside. And Hornaday comes down, and they make this contact right there. We see Bodine on the apron of the racetrack like he was trying to get on the gas and to avoid Hornaday, but couldn't do it. And Hornaday goes up and backs in the fence.
Can't get her much lower than that. Bodine was trying to give him all the room he could. Hornaday was trying to squeeze him off and hold the position, and it cost him big time.
And here comes Hornaday down pit road. There he is. The Papa John's pizza delivery truck going towards the pits. But he's not delivering pizza tonight.
Break for Ruttman, who is second in the point standings. We're going to go back. Yeah, thank you, Neil. This is when I told you that he had a 5-truck lead. That's a 5-truck lead that he had.
At least a 5-truck lead.
Yeah. We just wanted to document that Dave and Benny were not leading you astray. Now see, Skinner got in trouble up there. Looked like he slipped. And by the time you get back up front, look what's happened.
It's like there's oil or there's something was on the racetrack or.
And then it's just a terrific fight for the position. I wonder if Labonte didn't get up into the same thing Skinner got up into. They're coming off of 2. Look at this race for position now.
Man, he did some serious dirt tracking there, didn't he?
He sure did. And then here comes Bodine, and the rest, as they say, is history, although it'll happen on down at the other end of the raceway. So Labonte's 5 truck lengths disappeared in a hurry. And right there is the contact that sends the 3rd-ranked trucker in the series backward into the turn 2 wall.
And there really, I don't think there's any damage to the truck other than the fact that he had to stop and knock the sheet metal off the tire. And you know, that puts him at the back of the field, and now he's like 15th or something. But they're putting speedy dry down, so evidently someone lost a lubricant on the racetrack, either water, oil, some type of fluid on the racetrack. And I think that's what the Terry Labonte and the 3 truck of Mike Skinner drove into and slipped.
Our cracked cameraman was staying with Skinner because it looked like he was going to hit the fence. And I feel fairly confident that while that happened, we missed Terry Labonte doing the same thing, and that's where his lead went. And I believe Marty can update us from pit road.
Well, you were talking about Hornaday. You're exactly right, Benny. They had to come in. They did take the sheet metal off of that left rear. And you talk about guys having the bubble bursts. I mean, you look at them right now. They are leaning on the tools, and they're just saying, boy, this race just got away from us.
Yes, it did.
Huge disappointment for Hornaday. 94 points out of the lead. He did not need this. We'll take a break and come back with more from Richmond. Getting short. For Richmond International Raceway, we anticipated some strangeness, and we've had a bit of it here this evening. But I think the wildest stuff is still to come. Benny, how's this work now when we get down to the tail end of this deal? You take a look at the running order. What's the rule as far as green flag finish?
All these cars that you see here, the top 15 cars, are going to be nose to tail. Remember, on all the restarts previous to this, we've seen cars line up the inside, the lap cars on the inside. With less than 10 laps to go, the lead lap cars line up nose to tail. The lap cars will not be there. And we have 4 laps to go. There'll be 3 when we come by, and we'll race it out to see who can win this thing.
The top 15 are on the lead lap, and Hornaday is the last truck in that group, he having spun a single truck mishap that brought out, was it the 8th caution of the night, and cost Hornaday dearly in terms of the championship. It leads Labonte, Bodine, Skinner, Ruttman, Schrader. Your top 5. Among them, Labonte and Bodine have looked like potential winners of the race. Skinner has not been the leader yet tonight. He's got 3 to go as we come green.
Hornaday in the 16, he and Jeff Bodine, the 7 truck, made some contact. That's why he spun down in turn 1. Here comes Bodine again.
Needs to do it in a hurry. Look out, Jeff, there's a wall over there.
Got Texas.
Alexa 5 Follow Labonte, gets right up, gets him a touch, lets him know he's there. White flag, 1 to go. He's alongside, and they will go doorpost to doorpost for the final lap. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
Oh, and they go up the hill a little bit, but Jets will give some room coming off. Here they come, and Skinner's right back there.
Skinner sitting back there saying, boys, don't wreck in front of me, take me out, feed me a hole. Here they come to the checkered flag. Who's it going to be? I think it may be 2 points to call. It is Labonte. Wow.
Man, are these truck races unbelievable? Wow.
What is that, about the 4th or 5th time this year they finished side by side? One of them was an absolute photo finish. Labonte comes home the race winner. He's laughing it up and looking over and congratulating the runner-up Bodine. And Skinner makes a big move in terms of the championship. What a night.
Man, oh man.
That was terrific.
That was terrific. And here comes Labonte to victory circle. He's going to drive across. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's going to drive down the little road. There we see the 16 and the 7. Discussing the
did he run that thing into the wall?
He almost did.
I think he did. He was so interested in chatting with Bodine. I don't think he's got much gripe there. Skinner leads Ruttman by 51 points as a result of tonight's festivity. Terry Labonte becomes the 6th different winner of the 1995 truck racing season. This in the 15th event of the year. And I'll tell you what, it was a wild one as expected. Now they can't get the wind in that down.
Yeah, how do we do this?
Here, I'll show you. I've been here before. Let's go to Marty Reed.
All right. Well, we're down here in Victory Lane with Terry Labonte. The crowd getting a standing ovation. What a last lap. Great race.
Man, I tell you what, it was tough there. You know, Ron ran us real hard there. There was some oil on the racetrack, and it got real slick there, and then we had that restart. Seemed like it took my truck a couple laps to get going good, and then Jeff gave me a heck of a run there. We run side by side and just beat him back to the line. It was close.
You realize now you have a chance for a triple.
Well, you know, we do, and our Busch car really handled good today. We didn't qualify as good as we'd hoped to, and you know, I'm sure our Kellogg Chevrolet will run good Saturday. And got to thank DuPont and all the sponsors here on our SuperTruck. Appreciate everything they've done for us, and I'd like to thank Rick Hendrick for letting me drive it. This is the 3rd time out, and I thought I should have won the first one, but we finally got one.
Well, he's going to go for number 2 in the Busch race tomorrow night. Terry Labonte, your winner.
He's the only man who will race all 3 races this weekend. He's run 3 truck races, finished 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. You take a look at the unofficial order of finish as Labonte comes home a winner. Skinner helps his championship hopes a bunch, and Benny offers our final thought of the evening here. What you think, buddy?
Well, that we see Jeff Bodine talking to the Busch officials or the SuperTruck officials, NASCAR officials. And we see Hornaday came over and talked to him a little bit. He did not like the bump down in the corner.
They have talked it out. And whatever they had to say, it is all over with. Reese Davis is next. Sports Smash. We thank Marty Reed for all his hard work in the pits. I just have a ball being a boy in the booth with Benny Parsons. I'm Dave Despain. That's it from Richmond. Congratulations, Labonte.